Hey guys, it's just a little warning here. This video started out early in the morning and has only just ended at about 7:30, nearly 8 o'clock tonight. You can tell as time goes on, things just gradually deteriorate, as does my attitude and my language, so just a viewer discretion warning there. Hey guys, so I'm finally getting back to this thing. I've been off all week, and here it is Friday, and I haven't really done anything on this, and I expect I was going to get a lot done on it. But I was working on things around the farm. I was working on that truck there that's almost ready to be certified. I just have to... I noticed when I was crawling around underneath it, I noticed that the diff is leaking, so I got to pull the cover off the back and reseal it. Anyways, what I'm going to work on today is, because it's raining out there and I can't be bothered to be crawling around under a wet truck, is I'm going to start rebuilding the weather strip channel, right, Mr. Manx? And Tuffy's around here as well. He's over there, giving Manx evils, even though I think he really likes Tuffy. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to rebuild this. What I'm going to start with here is this edge here, this front edge on this point is spot welded to the body structure. So I'm going to rebuild this profile. It's a simple curve, so I'm going to use a shrinker stretcher to form that simple curve. I will put a level or a straight edge on this, but I'm pretty sure it's flat. It may have a slight curve because the hood does look like it has a slight curve, but nevertheless, we'll figure that out. We'll use the shrinker stretcher to make the exact profile. Then I'll cut this portion off. Then I'll rebuild this portion here, the back portion, which is also, you know, rusted through in points. See, and we'll just work our way back. Now this edge is going to be a little bit more complicated because it's actually, the fender is the channel, and then it comes up and is spot welded to the inner body here, along this line here, and you know, hopefully it won't be too hard to make the channel and still shrink stretch it. It doesn't look like that it'll work very well to get it close enough, but we'll see what we can work out here. I started stripping the edge along where I'd be welding in the new pieces here and all that, and whoever, I've said it before, I'll say it again, whoever did the previous bodywork on this car loved Bondo. There isn't a square inch of this car that doesn't have at least a skim coat of Bondo like this stuff does. Some bronze right there. Yeah. Or more brazing in here. More brazing in here. Bondo, 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 Bondo. There's a nice thick layer of Bondo here where I knew there was because of the spot where they patched up the antenna hole. Anyways, end result is I'm going to strip both front fenders down to bare metal, just so that I know what I'm getting into here. And then I'm going to I'll rust scale them both, and then I'll get back to working on these channels here, because I'm starting to wonder if this thing isn't just a patchwork quilt of, you know, crappy repair work. You know, there's a lot that I'm going to be cutting out. You know, at some point, yeah, I'm not talking about giving up. I'm talking about maybe, you know, like it's time to start looking for some big repair panels. I really didn't want to spend a lot of money on fixing this thing up, you know, but, you know, I can get a new set of fiberglass flared front fenders for $388 a pair. And they'd make the car look better, and they would eliminate a lot of this, you know, rubbish like that. So, I don't know. I'm going to have to look into this, or look further into this. If this isn't too bad, if this is the only bad spots here and where I know there, then I won't be too worried about it. You know, I expected, that's always a bad spot on every car on the planet, but if there's a whole bunch, you know, like the whole side of this thing is all garbage work, then at some point I have to look at, you know, some alternative here. Okay, so the fender is stripped, and I'd like to say that there's no surprises, but whereas this part isn't too bad, I'm not seeing anything more than I already knew, you know, like the brazed in piece is there and the brazed in piece here. But here, it's got just dozens or hundreds of dents in here. Like, I don't know what the hell, if somebody just went nuts and just started hitting it with a hammer right here for some reason, or I have no idea. But I haven't even stripped all the Bondo out because it's just insane numbers of dents. You know, I don't know what to make of it. You know, like, it just drives me, like, I don't know what to say. The whole of this fender was covered in at least, you know, oh, I don't know, I'd say 1/16 of an inch was minimum to 1/8 of an inch thick, if not more. Right here, it was probably more like a 1/4 inch here. So it took forever, made a hell of a mess. I'm wearing a dust mask right now, but holy man. You know, like, this isn't that much of a surprise. I knew that there was a, you know, a clusterfuck here. You know, I'll probably have to cut out most of this and redo it. But, geez, I was not expecting to see just dozens of dents there. I have no idea what happened. The only thing that occurs to me is that somebody went and sandblasted the panel, warped the hell out of it, and then in order to try and bring the, you know, the warp out of it, they put a whole bunch of dents in it to bring the panel down, because it is, I can feel waves in it, not to mention all these, you know, zillions of dents. That's nuts. Okay, well, I'll hit this with, well, actually I'm going to go and wire wheel out all of this stuff. Just so you know what I was using for stripping. I tried a couple of different ways. I was using the wire wheels, I was using the bigger wire wheel, but the thing that would work the best to put the least heat into the panel was I was using my orbital sander, and I was using 80 grit discs. I probably could have used 50 or 60, but I didn't have a lot of them, but I have lots of the 80s, so I just went with those. I stripped it well, didn't heat up the panel. I found that this thing, this disc really heated up the panel, so I avoided using it. But it was one of the more effective ways of stripping. Anyways, I'll clean that stuff out, see if I can clean some of this out. Found some other stuff that was a little odd. A bunch of little holes right here, and I don't know if that was somebody doing some dent pulling or not, but it seems to me to have been a stupid way to do it, because you would have had easy access to the back panel just with pulling the marker light out. So I don't know if that's just perforation or what. Seems like an odd place for it. Anyways, let's finger this up, get some body oil on it, get it start flash rusting. Hey guys, just so you know, that's not heat bluing, that's just the color that the wire wheel leaves behind. I have no idea what was done here. It's just zillions and zillions of dents. Like small little dents, like somebody was using a chipping hammer, like for a welding chipping hammer. Just bam, 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 bam. I don't know what to do with this. I'm gonna rust kill it, but I want to show you guys before I did. That is just beyond what I was expecting. I'll have a look at the other side and see what it looks like. I'll rust kill this right now, but I'm just like looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, well, I wonder if I can get a patch panel that, you know, comes right up here. I don't think so. It's not, you know, there was 100,000 of these cars made, and the body style didn't change for the years that they were made, not significantly. But yeah, at this point, this is looking a lot like cut this damn fender off and go some other route. This is nuts. Anyways, I'm gonna strip the other side and we'll see what kind of presents I'm getting on that side. Okay, so I'm happy to say that there are no surprises on this quarter. Just one little patch down there, one spot there. That's just some surface rust. Paint must have peeled, I guess, and it rusted through there, but it's still solid, so I'll rust kill that. I knew there was a hole here. I don't know what this goop is. It's hard. I don't know if somebody went and tried to, it looks like somebody tried to fill a hole by just slopping a bunch of Bondo in there. Maybe I can chisel that out of there, because I doubt that that's stock goop. You can kind of see it falling through there. I wonder what you can see from underneath here. Well, it just looks like a mess. You can see the extent of the weather strip channel rust here. But I feel a little better about this one. It isn't horrendous. I'm gonna cut that off if I decide, if I, you know, don't go and splurge on a set of those fiberglass fenders. I'm gonna fill this, you know, bit in here. I'll cut that bit of rubber out and I'll just weld it up. But made me feel better to look at this one, but now I have to look at it and I have to say to myself, should I really strip this whole body right now just so that I know what I'm up against? Because if it comes down to you know, these back fenders are really, really bad, you know, then I go for fiberglass on the back, well then there's no point in putting the effort into these front ones, making them better. So I think, I hate to say it, but I think that's going to be today's task, is stripping the rest of this body. I won't strip the hood or the trunk, because the trunk I know has a load of Bondo in it. You saw that from before where it was all peeling off. It was all flaking off of the thing there. I might actually take the pressure washer to it and see what's going on. Right, Mrs. Dog? Yeah, you guys are all wet. Yes, yes. Well, okay, how will you guys go? Okay, this is just starting to piss me off. I'm starting to strip this door. I'm going to work my way back, and I put some, you know, 60 grit in the you know, in the orbital, and I'm grinding and I'm grinding and I'm grinding and I'm grinding and I'm grinding. There's, I don't know what there is. There's a 1/4 inch of Bondo on the top of this goddamn fender. Jesus Christ! This guy bought the Bondo by the friggin' 5-gallon pail? Man, I never seen so much Bondo on anything. Anyways, so I'll do the same technique I, you know, like evolved on digging out all the Bondo on here, is rather than trying to sand it out, I'll use the wire wheel and take it down to where I can actually almost see metal, and then I'll use the orbital. This is just insane. I don't know what you're going to find. I already knew that there was a lot up here, and I don't know, you know, it's not like there was a lot on the back edge, like he was trying to build it up to this mess that is over here. Just makes you crazy what people do. Well, that explains that. Another brazed in piece right here. I don't know. The guy I bought it off of, no wonder he dropped the price so dramatically when I bought it. He knew it was just full of Bondo, and he was just waiting for it to all pop through. Holy man. So anyways, another spot that I got to repair. I knew that there is spots along the lower front here and lower back, but that I could see from the inside, and I could see this mark right here. But you know, there's rust out along here that was there, and all that sort of fun stuff. Well, no wonder there was a 1/4 inch of Bondo on top of this. So that's another spot I'll have to address properly. Or I could just slop Bondo over it, you know, it seems to be the traditional way to deal with these problems. Jeez. Okay, I swear, I'm never buying another car again until I get one of those Bondo testers like I've seen Wild Eyed Northern Boy and HPR or Underground Auto have. It's just a 1/4 inch of Bondo. All the way, all over this friggin' door. Just insane amounts of Bondo. You know, it's all hanging in the air here. Probably should have covered that guy up, but I don't think the Bondo was going to hurt it. I'll just blow it off when I'm done. But holy man. It's just insane amounts of Bondo here. I'm going to wreck that. That is my faithful best angle grinder I've got. It doesn't overheat. And I'm gonna burn it up just stripping this crap off. Man, is there lots of Bondo on this stupid car. It's just insane. He in order to put a 1/4 inch of Bondo on here, he must have sanded more off. So he must have used a whole 1-gallon jug of Bondo on every quarter, on every panel, everything. Okay, so I might have exaggerated a bit when I said there was a 1/4 inch of Bondo over the whole door, but pretty much the entire bottom of the door is easily, you know, approaching a 1/4 inch of Bondo in places. There, it's definitely 1/4 inch. I'm seeing all these holes in here that I assume was somebody using an old school dent puller on them. So this door must have taken some kind of a hit. Enough so that they drilled dozens and dozens of holes here. There's 3, 6, 9, you know, I'm not even bothered counting them. Not yet. What a mess. I put the fan out, full blast, blowing air outside, so it'll draw some of this dust out. And I'll finish this door, and if the door is like this, I honestly don't anticipate that this 1/4 is going to be any better than that. Crazy, eh? Most Bondo I've seen, not that I've seen that much, but nevertheless. Okay, so I've done stripping it, and well, that was a surprise, obviously. So that earlier, I knew that this had been repaired. I didn't realize it was this much. You know, this is half the length of the door. I wish I could get further back here. This camera doesn't exactly do that very well. And of course this part here, which I don't think I remember seeing it, but nevertheless, it's there. So there's a bunch of small dents, all these right here, which I'm not sure what to make of them. Look like something somebody's using to pull it out. I thought about trying to reskin the whole door. I'll have to stand back here. It's just going to work from my closeness. But there is a slight, you know, apart from there's the curve this way, and if that was the only curve that was there, it wouldn't be that big a deal. But there's a slight crown which is curved that way. So unless I had an English wheel to stretch it in the center, I really couldn't make a new skin for this side. And honestly, when you got 3 big patches like that of skin, it'd make a lot of sense. But nevertheless, I guess since I'm on this side, I think I'll strip this 1/4 here, and I'll strip, you know, almost up to the roof there as well. I'll dig this stuff out with a smaller wire wheel, and then I'll rough straight this one. I'll leave it up. I won't go right to the edge of the weather stripping because I'm hoping I can reuse that, but that's nothing special there. Yep, 1/4 inch of Bondo. Okay, so I got the right rear 1/4 stripped, and there's the surprise this time. This is the gift that keeps on giving. Somebody welded in a patch, 2, maybe 3 patches in this spot alone, and they did a complete hack job of it, and they overheated it, and they warped the shit out of this sail panel. They when they rebuilt this, they put a piece and they just welded in, beat it back far enough that they could completely Bondo over it and reshape that. This whole section, I believe that you can get this whole piece up to including the top of the sail panel. I don't know if you get the actual pinch weld, so you can just drill it out and spot weld it in, and then just seam welded along the bottom. Butt welded along the bottom, but nevertheless, that is available as a patch panel. I would like to avoid doing it, you know, like this part could easily be replaced just with a piece of sheet metal. If you did along the perimeter, it wouldn't be so hard to get the shape right. But this part right here would be very, very difficult to fabricate, at least for me to fabricate. So I'm probably gonna have to buy that patch panel. I really was hoping I could avoid that. Crappy patch in here, some perforation along the edge there. I haven't looked on the inside of the thing there. Weird part here, this is all pounded in here, right here. I don't know why. I can only assume that at some point maybe somebody caught the edge of that on something and bent it up, and somebody just kind of beat it into rough shape. Bunch of little dents here. This looks like another spot where somebody did some reforming work, but they didn't do a very good job. Whole bunch of little dents here. I don't know, that looks like that's probably the start of perforation from the backside there. Too bad right here, but you might or you might not be able to see that distortion right there. That should be a nice smooth curve, and there's kind of a hump right there. And I think what it is the fender well got a little distorted, so I'm hoping that I can just, you know, basically push it back and straighten out this lip, and it'll pull it back into rough shape. Because there's no kinks, there's no bends, but that's what there is there. Oh. And of course I haven't wrapped around this side, but I knew that there was some rust there. Need to be repaired. The other side is much worse. So let's go to the other side and let's start doing the doors. I'm not going to rust kill this until I'm done, because I rust killed that stuff, and whatever's in that rust killer, it gives it that kind of purplish glint. Maybe it's like a kind of a paint, because whatever it was, the Bondo dust sticks to it like crazy, you know. And if you let it dry first, it's not so bad. Like this quarter, pretty much all that dust rubs off, but the other stuff, because it was wet when I was sanding other stuff, it stuck. So I'll probably go and actually re-sand these at some point and re-rust kill them. But yeah, wow, I can really see that door, kind of a mess that door is. Wish I could reskin it. It's actually, you know, I was pretty discouraged when I saw that, because it was the first part I stripped. But the reality is the rest of the fender can be worked with, so I'm not that pissed about it. There's some kind of odd discoloration all over it. I couldn't figure out what it was. It was kind of a brownish. I don't think it was the E-coat, because it was very inconsistent in the application of it. Anyways, oh, and it does have a pretty heavy scratch on it. You know, that's my compromise for working with the, or using the wire wheel to strip it. I'm going to just deal with it. It'll get a couple of coats of high build, and I'll let it shrink in, you know, for a week or so. I'll sand it, and then probably give it one more coat again, and let that sit before I go to final paint. This I'm pissed about. There's no excuse for warping that. Anyways, let's do the other two little bits that are left. I'm not stripping the hood and the trunk. If you're really going to call this hood, this is really the front trunk. And that's the driver door stripped. I don't know if there's any real shocks here. Surprised that they went and they repaired the whole bottom of the door, but such as it is, brazed in. Maybe quarter, they were actually pretty conservative on this door. It might have been about an 1/8 of an inch of Bondo on the bottom, and really almost a skim coat on the rest of it. I am impressed with these guys. They must have learned by the time they got to this door. Okay, before I completely removed all the Bondo from this sail panel here, I thought I'd give credit where credit is due to the guy who did all the bodywork on this thing, because he is a Bondo sculptor. Because none of this shit showed when I bought this thing. It is just absolutely the shittiest metalworking I've seen, but the guy did a damn good job covering it up with, well, easily a 1/4 inch, if not 3/8 of an inch of Bondo. Yep, he was a sculptor, all right. All right, a new record, nearly 1/2 inch of Bondo. Congratulations. Okay, there you go. That's everything except the front and rear trunk stripped, and this little thing here and that, you know. What do you want to say? You know, obviously another hack job right here. A little bit of a mess there, but not too big a deal. A whole bunch more of these little dents again. I honestly would love to know what the person was trying to achieve with doing that, because it's the third place I've seen this stuff, but yeah, well, I guess speculation doesn't matter. I'll see if I can hammer and dolly it out, same as on that other quarter there. Yeah. A little bit of a smash up on the lip here. See, it got caught right there. Caused a little bit of distortion, but nothing major. Probably not much I can do with that. Not too much of a big deal here. Looks like there's a crease right here, just a light crease. So, there you go. All stripped. Not quite a basket case, but pretty close. Anyways, guys, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I know this was a long one. I appreciate it if you made it to the end, but I don't blame you if you didn't. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.